Sialai, Senior Deputy Clerk of the National Assembly Parliament of Kenya. The work of the clerk is mainly to marshal business for consideration by the House in pursuit of its mandate and in discharge of its constitutional mandate. That business is brought to the House for consideration to ensure that the business is done and relevant authorities of the House and other places are notified of the resolution of the House on any of the business that has been brought before the House. In respect of treaties and protocols, the work of the clerk is first, if he has been notified that there is need for a protocol or treaty to be ratified in the House, is to get in touch with relevant authorities. In our case in Kenya, we would, if it was in a matter dealing with Pan-African Parliament, then the clerk would have to get in touch with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who would have prepared and have a protocol approved by the Cabinet and forwarded to Parliament for consideration. Once it has been brought or submitted to Parliament, the work of the clerk is to ensure that the matter is notified of the House. You know, the House is notified that there is a proposal that has come over a protocol, and in our case refer to relevant committee of the House to look at it before the House considers. Thereafter, there will be public participation to ensure that members of the public are aware about it. They have made comments, and the House then considers. So the work of the clerk is to facilitate that work, ensure that once the committee has finished this business in considering the protocol, is to have it put in the agenda of the House. And the clerk has to propose to the body of the House that normally set the agenda for the House, and that the matter is attended to in the House. Once the matter has been passed or considered in the House, the clerk is required to notify the people who submitted, in this case the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that the House has considered and passed the protocol and issue a certificate. We normally issue a certificate to that effect, and we would have to copy that, notify as well. In as much as we notify the relevant ministry, we also need to notify the Secretariat of the Pan-African Parliament that this action has been taken for purposes of information. Thereafter, it is really the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to deal with it. But the work of the clerk, again, is to coordinate. If the protocol hasn't come, the clerk needs to find out why it has not come. When it has come to the House, it has been considered. And thereafter, when it has been passed, whether all the necessary bodies have been informed. And really the work of the clerk is to facilitate in that consideration. In our case, we received it almost 4 or 5 months ago, the protocol from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But first it had to be taken to the Cabinet to approve. It was approved and submitted to us to Parliament. In Kenya, it's the National Assembly that considers and approves protocols, although we have 2 houses. And subsequently, because it was a recess for us, when we came back from recess, the protocol was actually referred to the Defense and Foreign Relations Committee, which is currently, as we are speaking now, considering it. They have called for public representation and views on it. They are shortly to conclude. In fact, in another 2-3 weeks, the committee will have finished and it will be taken to the House. I know the House has agreed to fast track as soon as it gets it. So in 1.5 months, I think there should be a positive answer. But I can assure you that the executive and legislature are positive and they are willing, and as soon as it's ready from the committee, it will be considered by the House, and we should be receiving good news anytime in another 1.5 months' time. Thank you.